welcome to another episode of the Brown and Black podcast. My name is Jack Rico.
And I'm Mike Sargent.
And every week we take a look at race and pop culture through a brown and black lens. Welcome, everyone, to the Brown and Black podcast. This is going to be a special edition episode called Off the Cuff, which means that we're not really preparing a special episode. It's more like breaking news happened, and we have some off-the-cuff comments, thoughts, opinions that we would like to share. Yeah, takes. And we thought that this special edition needed to be done because
Bad Bunny is going to be the halftime show in the next Super Bowl.
And it was hilarious because, I don't know, you went to sleep really late.
Yes, I did.
The news had to come out last night, so I thought you knew.
No.
We're still processing the story.
Yes.
Okay? This is like an ongoing story because it has such a huge ripple effect against a system that has been established to thwart it. So while there is an attack going on Latin culture, there's now a celebration of that same culture. Dude, and talk about planets aligning, all happening on Hispanic Heritage Month. Almost like by fucking design.
First of all, I went to bed last night. I did stay up late, but early Sunday, I've been reading how, Taylor Swift turned down the halftime show and Adele turned down the halftime show. I read a whole article in Inc. and why it was the smart thing to do and blah, 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 and why people do it and they don't pay you. And I was like, Rock Nation. Maybe this is in response to the Kendrick Lamar last year. They're trying to get someone to appease everybody. And then you text me this morning. I guess you haven't seen the news. I was like, holy shit.
I think this is where we should just begin deconstructing why this thing is such a huge deal, especially for this podcast.
Yeah.
So the whole representation of brown, black, I mean, it doesn't pass me by that the last 2 years have been a black and brown Super Bowl halftime, which to me says, Mike, that black and brown culture is officially the face of American culture.
And in your face.
Okay. And in your face.
And in your face.
It can't be any more rubbed down. And we also got to talk about the contradictions of this, the litany of ironies of this announcement. But let me begin with first your thought as a black culture critic who lives in a very Hispanic neighborhood in Washington Heights. For you, when you heard this, what were the things that it clicked on you that you went, oh my God, you know what this means?
All right, let me give you this a cavalcade of context. Okay. Cavalcade of context, but I'll be brief. First of all, I'm thinking about the history of the NFL, starting back with Colin Kaepernick and what they did to him. And then thinking about Beyonce, like what will be 10 years ago when she was doing something to celebrate Black Lives Matter, bringing it up to what just happened with Kendrick Lamar. Okay. And I will not forget that it was a New York Times article. Tiana Clark wrote that Kendrick Lamar's performance was American symbolism through the lens of bold and unapologetic blackness. And I was like, all right, yeah. Then in the midst of what's going on, for Bad Bunny to take this gig and Bad Bunny to amplify and say whatever the fuck he wants. And this is somebody who has made it clear how he feels about ICE, how he feels about Trump, how he feels about what's going on in this country. He wasn't even going to do any concerts.
That's the irony of this whole thing.
It's like he wasn't going to because he was afraid of ICE. And I'm like, my mind is reeling. I'm like, okay, what will that scene be like? Will there be areas in the stadium? Will there be fights? Will there be ICE there? What? Dude, my mind is racing when I heard this. So for me, as someone, like you said, who's become so connected to Latino culture, to see this literally the year after. And it's just thinking about the NFL to have partnered with Rock Nation in itself is the antithesis of what our current administration is all about. Any kind of unification. This is like a cultural nuclear bomb is about to go off. That's how I see this.
Mike, for the next 5 months, all you're going to be talking about is Latino culture. It's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, will he be doing any songs in English? They've already started.
I mean, listen, Latino culture is now officially mainstream. Do you know the validation, the institutional, organizational, white validation that Spanish language just got, that Latino culture just got, that 3 of the biggest institutions got together in a room? All the presidents, all the heads, Mike. All right, guys, here comes our marketing chief. Yep, they're going to present to us who the halftime performers. Bad Bunny. Okay, well, what do we think? The dude almost brought in $1 billion in Puerto Rico in 30 days. Imagine what he could do for New Orleans. Dude. And imagine what it could do for the global audience. 600 million people around the world speak Spanish. And then just Latin languages like Italian and French. Like, it's just, you have the world's attention here. And
yes,
from everything that I've also been hearing from the media is that word is that the NFL, the reason they've been going to Rio de Janeiro, the reason they've been going to the UK is because they have ambitions of doing the first Super Bowl in Europe.
Wow.
And imagine that, dude. So they got visions for global power, global reach. They don't consider themselves an American brand anymore. They're a global brand in their head. So you know that this was going to rub somebody the wrong way. And I'm sure that it has, and it's already detonated all types of meetings and like the war rooms is what they call it. And they're going, how is this possible? But the numbers don't lie, Mike. The business case doesn't lie.
Here's the thing that really occurred to me after reading that article yesterday in Inc. magazine. They're talking really, like you said, business from a business standpoint. They had a whole list of why did Taylor Swift turn this down? And artists traditionally do it because you don't get paid to do the Super Bowl halftime show.
No, because the audience is already the payment.
Exactly.
What it does for your brand overnight.
It amplifies you.
Come on, man. Amplifies you. Dude, it cements you as a global like legend now.
And they were saying Taylor Swift doesn't need to do that. So I'm thinking now, Bad Bunny doesn't need to do that either. So the question is, why does he want to do this? In my opinion, because he's got stuff he wants to say to people who need to hear it.
What's been beautiful so far about this news has been the Black embracement of it.
Yes.
Black culture's embracement of this has been damn beautiful. Zane Lowe, like I was saying, when Old Man Ebro on Apple Music, we're just talking to Bad Bunny, and they said that Bad Bunny had known about this for a while. They didn't say exactly how long, but that he had not come up with exactly what the performance was going to be like. But dude, don't tell me that you didn't see the Kendrick Lamar performance and then all of a sudden go, ooh, I'm going to have to top that.
Yeah.
And if you saw the 11 million Amazon historic record-breaking viewership that the final show of his residency in Puerto Rico got, I saw it with my wife. I think we were invited to something we canceled.
Wow.
We literally canceled for an Amazon live streamed show. But because, it was also the hardest to get ticket probably on the planet. Just ask LeBron James. Ask John Hamm. Austin Butler. That's right. All these American celebrities in Puerto Rico. Right?
Yeah.
Yet at the same exact time, Puerto Rico is going through one of the worst moments too. They have an electric grid, man, that is devastating the island. And there's this very dark backdrop around Puerto Rico, and the president's rhetoric against it. Doesn't seem like he wants to support it. Yet here he is, Mike. And it's one of the many ironies, going to be face to face now with the Brown Super Bowl.
Listen, he's going to be there.
Of course, because why would he miss this? He can't miss this. Dude. And, the question is, will this Brown Super Bowl become the most watched Super Bowl halftime show in history? Kendrick Lamar made 127 million. Can Bad Bunny beat it?
I think he will, because of all the things that you're mentioning. You're talking about that boardroom with the statistics. Black players make up 70% of the NFL right now.
The decision was a symbol of rebellion in a moment of a cultural war, Mike.
Yes.
This is what should send all businesses to go, wait a minute, did we come to a understanding that we need multicultural consumers to become global brands? This is what every brand wants to be. And the fact that the NFL, and that's another irony, that the fact that they're the ones out of the gate with this, holy smokes, man, is something that kind of caught me off guard, because I thought there was going to be, dude, after the Kendrick Lamar thing, and after everything that's been going on, Mike, it just seems like the bad guy is always winning. So I'm just going, okay, you're going to win the Super Bowl halftime too. Who are we going to see?
I know. Adele, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift was the cross-cultural, cross-party line artist that would have made sense for everybody. Because to me, she is a global figure. She said no. This opened up the lane for this moment to happen.
You were talking about brands and you're talking about business. And if we're going to use that metaphor, we're right now, Coke and Pep, Burger King, McDonald's, right? They're battling each other. America and people of color. Okay. What is the black brand? What is the brown brand? Bad Bunny says, okay, Kendrick Lamar last year showed America what that black brand is. Unapologetic. We're in your face, whether you like it or not. We know what the fuck you're doing and what you've done to us. You could deny our history, but we know our history. Bad Bunny says, yeah, okay. What's the Latino brand in America? I think he can help rebrand what brown and Latino is in America. That's what I think.
He can go a few ways with this. What we know so far is that this year has been his Puerto Rico year, his home roots year. And does he come up with the same theme into the Super Bowl? And I got to tell you, man, I don't know, man, because now he has 5 months to really think about it. But can I be honest with you, man? The fact that the challenge is to top Kendrick Lamar, and I think that the Kendrick Lamar is probably the best Super Bowl performance halftime I've ever seen. Because you know why? It was art. I've never seen that. And because it was art, and now you're asking another artist to top that? Because there's that competitive spirit, man. Like, you want to.
Right.
I got to top Kendrick? As a fan, I don't want to top Kendrick, but my competitive juices says, can I? And what can I bring to it that Kendrick already didn't say? The thing about Kendrick is that Kendrick, it was really about the Black experience. So now you could say, what is the Latino experience?
Yes.
I think that the only way that this would satisfy the Hispanic, Black viewers, critics, journalists, the public intellectuals, is that this dude has to come out swinging.
Yes.
With some sort of political statement about the ICE raids, about immigration, about how Puerto Rico, being an American territory, has been abandoned. And it's been bereft of hope for a while, man. Bad Bunny's been the only thing that's given them hope. But they've been stripped of everything. And I think that this dude is also very emotional about that. The fact that he said, I'm not touring in the U.S. because, dude, I just don't trust the government at this moment.
I couldn't blame him at all, dude.
And I don't want to put my people in jeopardy. Like, I would not for money. But then there's the entertainment aspect. Is what are you bringing that's entertainment that we haven't seen yet?
Well, my prediction, King, like, yeah, what could he do? My prediction is that he will release a new song at the Super Bowl. It'll be a whole new song because he's an artist. You know, you talked also about Kendrick Lamar being an artist who speaks through his art. That's kind of what I see. And I think that Bad Bunny is too, because when that idiot Tony Hinchcliffe called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean, Bad Bunny, he was the Latino artist to come out against it, saying something. He's the one who did a song where he's got like Trump voice saying, I'm sorry, I was wrong. He has been using his art to say things. And I feel like that's why he took this. He has to have a plan. In my opinion, he's going to do something groundbreaking. That's my prediction.
It's what we have come to expect.
Yeah.
And the dude lives here in New York City. He lives right here in New York. And I'm just thinking how this dude is ours.
Yeah.
It's crazy to know that someone who decided to buck the system and how much business speaks louder than political ideologies when push comes to shove. That's the lesson learned.
Like, how much was he offered to play here in America? And he said no.
Then to have this stage and what he could do at this stage and what it means.
And we all know he's not doing it for the money.
The headline for me is this in my head: the first ever Spanish language Super Bowl halftime show. That's the headline to me. And the fact that's going to now be talked about by all the white pundits. All of them, Mike, the New York Times, the New Yorker, Vanity Fair, the Daily Beast, Puck, all of them that are like, well, Spanish language doesn't exist. I don't watch Univision and Telemundo. I'm not talking in Spanish to people. I mean, I might listen and not know what they're saying, but I like the melody. That's as much as they know. And now, here is so much of it in your face for the next 5 months. And I don't want to get into all the history that I know about this. But this little island, Mike, and I think I'll just kind of finish it off with this, man. Like, this little island has contributed so much to just the culture of America. From movies to food to dance to singing. Like, what's come out of Puerto Rico? Ricky Martin, Mark Anthony, Jennifer Lopez, Rita Moreno, Bad Bunny. That's just to name a few. The fact that that small island has been able to deliver such an impact on the history of culture of America.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico is America. Spanish is America. We spoke Spanish here before the British did. Half of this country was Mexican. The history doesn't lie. Spanish is as equal here in America as English.